Okay, y'all. We've been working so hard, haven't we? We've been working on the Beatitudes for 2 months. Oh, are you just exhausted? Have to change this, have to change that. Oh my God. Yeah. So when Spirit asked me to do this service and the one next, it was to take a little break, have a little fun, do something a little different. This one, next week will be a lot of fun, y'all. But this one is what it is. So, stay with me. Most of you know the story of Joseph from the Old Testament. Do you not? I hear just one, Did anybody go to the theater and watch it? I did not either. Okay, so I'll tell you the story. You know, Genesis has most of the stories that you hear in the Old Testament. And I won't go in the background of Genesis. But in Genesis, there's a story of a man who has 12 sons. He falls in love with a girl, works for her daddy for 7 years so he can marry her. Her daddy switches the girls out and puts a different girl in. Of course, at this time, they're not paying any attention. He sleeps with her, wakes up, and it's the wrong girl. He goes, dude, I worked for you for 7 years. This is not the one I love. And the daddy said, well, we have to marry the oldest first. So I'll give you the second one now, the one you do love, and you work for me 7 more years. So Jacob said, okay, I will. And so we have this woman that he doesn't really love that much, and then we have the one that he adores. Well, the one that he doesn't really love that much starts giving him sons. Eventually, she'll go through, 6 sons? I have my notes. 6 sons. 6 sons for Leah. And at one point, she stops procreating, or stops producing, and so she gives him her handmaiden, have a couple kids by her handmaiden. Rachel, the one he loves, is not producing. And so it becomes an issue. So Rachel gives him her handmaiden, and she has a couple of sons. Finally, Rachel gets pregnant, and she has a little boy named Joseph. And then she gets pregnant again, has a little boy named Benjamin, and then she dies in childbirth. Okay, there we go. Brought it up to date. So can you see how Jacob probably loved Rachel's son, the one that he waited for. The one that came, and they named him Joseph, the one that brought joy to their lives and completed them, because it was real important to have children. Well, by this time, he's got 12 sons. And fast forward, these are the 12 tribes of Israel being created. But now back up. So Joseph is younger, one of the younger. Some of the boys are grown, and Joseph, when our story starts, is 17. So Joseph's 17, he's beloved by his father. Now, Dr. Errico, who is a Semitic scholar, an Aramaic scholar, and the backstory of this Genesis, it is evident to him, by the way it is written, that the father of the 12 boys was grooming Joseph to be like him, to manage everything. All the other boys were out in the field. They were tending the flock. They were doing all the labor. But, we need them too. But he was grooming Joseph to be the household manager, basically, manage everything. And he made Joseph a coat, which we call the coat of many colors, right? Now you've heard of that. The same story, coat of many colors. The reality is it was a coat with long sleeves. And the long sleeves are probably embroidered with many colors. But it was the long sleeves that was the telltale sign. A man who wore long sleeves never labored. He was either rich or had authority. So the brothers are all going, what the heck's going on? We're out here, we're grown, we've got families going on, and there's this kid, this pup, who dreams dreams and interprets them, which his father did as well, who has a download from God, which his father did as well, and his father is grooming him to take over the household. So they hated him. Can you see why? They hated him because he was set aside to do these things, but he had the quality and talents to do these things. So I love Joseph, but I'm going to tell the story as if I did not know him. So in the scripture it says, Joseph worked with the handmaiden sons, not his auntie's sons, not the one he married, but the handmaiden sons. What does that tell us about Joseph? He was separated from the main boys. And the handmaiden sons, his brothers, did some stuff, and he went back and told his dad. He's 17. He ratted him out. Did they like him more? They hated him more. Everybody hates this kid. So the dad sends him out on a mission, says, go find your big brothers, find out where they are. I need to know what's going on. He goes and finds them, and they go, ooh, we're in the far land. Let's get rid of this kid. So they're going to kill him. Everybody know the story now? Is it starting to ring bells? They're going to kill him. And then their oldest says, let's not kill him. Don't kill him. And then they said, well, let's put him in that pit over there and let him just figure it out. So they actually put him in the pit. He begs them not to. He cries and begs them not to. I don't think he realized how much he was hated. He was following his path. He'd had a dream. He went to them, guys, I had a dream. I had a dream that you guys, I was a stalk standing and all of you guys bowed to me. Isn't that strange? And they went, okay, we hate you more. Then he came and said, guys, I had another dream. I had a dream that I was a stalk of wheat and mom and dad bowed to me. And we hate you even more. And his father heard the dream and went, that's interesting. Because his father knew how to do dream interpretation. But you see how it's building up? The kid is absolutely oblivious to the fact that he is hated as much as he is. Because he's looking only at him. He's a 17-year-old boy. Have we known any of them? Only at him. So the boys put him in the pit. And then one of them says, oh, look, there's some traveling merchants. Let's sell him. So they sell him into slavery. Off he goes into slavery. And he ends up in Egypt. He's sold to a man named Potiphar, who was a governor of some sort. He's got some wealth. Before you know it, this child is taking over Potiphar's affairs. He's investing his money. He's prospering him because everywhere Joseph goes, they prosper. He's prospering the man. It says that Potiphar doesn't even know what he has because Joseph did such a good job for him. And then Potiphar's wife kind of liked him. So she started razzing on him to sleep with her. This went on for a long while. And Joseph would say, no. And then one day, no one else was in the house. And the story goes that she grabbed his cloak, and he refused and ran out, of course, without his cloak into the street. And then she had to scream, assault, assault. And he went to prison. So there we have it. Everybody with me on the story so far? Okay. So this child is in the prison, and what does he do? He befriends the prison manager, and he starts to profit the prison manager. Everything's going great. He lets Joseph be completely in charge. Joseph is getting things done, organizing things, blah, 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 but he's still in prison. Two men have dreams. One dream of serving the king wine again, the Pharaoh wine again, because he was put in prison by the Pharaoh. The other dreams of something eating out of a basket off his head. He used to serve the Pharaoh. And our young man told them, wine guy, you're going to get reinstated. Bread guy, you're going to get your head cut off in 3 days. And it happened. In 3 days, wine guy got reinstated. The other guy got beheaded. And he said to the guy that got reinstated, remember me. Tell Pharaoh about me. Remember me. 2 years later, he stands before Pharaoh because Pharaoh has had a dream that no one can interpret. And so the wine guy goes, oh, the dude in prison. Yeah, let me tell you the story. He told Pharaoh about him. And Pharaoh said, go get him. I want to talk to him. We know that they cleaned him up, brought him to Pharaoh. And from that point that he stood before Pharaoh, he's 30. When he left, he was 17. So we have 13 years of serving and being accused of things, but being successful wherever he's put. Stands in front of Pharaoh. He interprets Pharaoh's dream and says there's going to be 7 lean years and 7 fat years. First, the fat years where everybody's got a lot of stuff. Lean years where everybody's going to starve. That's your interpretation. And Pharaoh said, I need someone to be in charge so that we can gather grain the first year. No, and he says you should gather grain the first 7 years because it's the next 7 years no one's going to live if you don't. And Pharaoh said, we need somebody smart that knows God. Oh, it's you, Joseph. Why don't you do that for me? Pharaoh puts Joseph in charge of everything. And he said, no one has more power than Joseph except me. He's the number 2 guy. Do we see a pattern? He's always the number 2 guy. So then, the story goes on. Joseph is doing it, and of course his family starts to starve in Canaan. So his family comes and buys grain. They don't recognize him, but he recognizes them. He tricks them a little bit. But when he's doing this, he realizes how much he loves them. And it says at the very end, after all the trickery and stuff, they are sorry they killed him. Because he asks about, do you have any other brothers? They're sorry they killed him. He can understand them, their language. They don't know that. And he sees their regret. because they're talking amongst themselves. This is happening because we killed Joseph. And so they're repenting. At the end of the whole story, he hugs them, he loves them. He says, bring all your family up. So that's how the Jewish people got into Egypt. They lived in Goshen and they were taken care of. Good story, huh? All right. So we have this young man who is filled with a divine purpose and a divine idea. And he's understanding the dreams he's getting from God, and he knows there's a mission for him. He knows there's a mission for him. And he's on this mission. And things start happening that are not good to him. There's a scripture that says, God, you meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. That's from this story. That's at the end of this story. You meant it for evil, God means it for good. But you guys, what about this? His whole mission was to save humanity. His whole mission was to get into Pharaoh's kingdom, save the grain so everybody could live. That was his trajectory, right? So that's his trajectory. He might not have known it clearly, but that was his trajectory. What if he did it differently? Do we have to suffer to get to that? Do we have to go through all the trials and tribulations to be put in the right place where we need to be? Do we? But most of us do. Most of us do. We do our lessons that hinder us. Yes, we're learning. Yes, we're growing. But I have this. What if Joseph had said, I'm going to be the dream interpretation for all of my people? He would have been famous. He would have been famous. There would have been a kid in Cana that could interpret any dream. And when Pharaoh had his dream, Pharaoh would have said, there's a kid in Canaan that can interpret anything. Go get him. And Joseph could have had a lovely life with his family. Did you see the possibility? Or he could have done it and been really good at it. And when he could have had the dream instead of Pharaoh. And then he could have gone to Pharaoh and said, Pharaoh, I had a dream. This. And he could have saved them just like he was supposed to. Do you see the two other options? He could have gotten to his goal, to be in the position to be used for the blessing of the whole, without tracking the challenges that he did. And that's our option. Does that make sense to you guys? All right. So when you look at why did he do it that way, the very first thing is he ratted out his brothers. I mean, he didn't see his brothers. That's why they hated him. They didn't hate him because his dad, they might have hated him a little bit because he was favored, but that was not uncommon. The inheritance would have gone to the firstborn anyway, not to him. But he was going to be the manager. He was the one that had the spiritual training. He was the one that was going to work in the overseeing. But he did not see his brothers. The ones he ratted out, he didn't see that they were, he had no mercy for them. And he did not see them as support for his journey. Do you hear what I'm saying? The other brothers, he didn't see how much they hated him. He did not read the room, people. And all of these characters could have been support for his journey. If he had just taken a moment and said, hey, Reuben, the oldest. Reuben, hey, dude. Yeah, the guys don't like me too much. What can I do? He's a little buddy. Hey, little buddy. This is what we can do. I'm going to get you under my wing. Reuben liked him. Get you under my wing. I'll show you what to say, what not to say, dude. He could have tucked up under guidance. But he did not accept or see the support that was on his path. How many times when we're driven to a mission or driven to do something, do we push aside people that we don't think are resonating with us? We push them aside. Get out of my way, I'm on a mission from God. Get out of my way, get out of my way. Instead of, okay, I'm on a mission from God, you're on my path, what are you bringing me? And what do I need to give to you? Instead of acknowledging that, there's a reason they're here. They're supporting me in some way and I can support them. And then the love can flow. The whole end of the story was both Joseph and his brothers realized how much they loved each other. Why did it take so many years? Why couldn't they have just tried? Why couldn't he have tried to see the love? You got it? Now, we can say that karmically he had to go through those experiences. Yeah, karmically he might have. But in karma, once you become aware of the other end result of your journey, the other end result of his journey was love. That will always change your trajectory. And like we spoke in another service during the Beatitudes, when Jesus said, if you change one thought, you can actually change your future. You can change how you get there. You can change what you're doing. So, in the end, he needed to acknowledge his brothers for who they were and acknowledge his love for them. They're rotten. I don't like them. They don't do what Dad says, but I still love them. I accept them. That's who they are. And they're going to have their own karma. I don't need to tell Dad. Dad's going to find out. You know, I won't cover for them, but I don't need to rat them out either. They're my brothers. Do you hear? How often do you rat people out because you think you're helping them? But that's their life. They're going to face it. They're going to face what comes to them. They don't need you correcting them. They may be doing it quite nicely. Thank you. Exactly what they need to do. All right. So, staying on this trajectory of talent, realizing we have a mission, and letting that mission begin to be expressed right where we are. And his mission was expressed where he was. He took care of everything. He let that talent grow. But do we look at our day every day as part of our mission to where we are going and what we are becoming? Looking at our day every day as a part of that and loving the people that are on our path while we do it. Even when they annoy us, even when we don't agree with them, even when they are interesting. You see? All right. He was always taken to his level of consciousness, which is true of you too. You'll always be taken to your level of consciousness. He blessed everything he touched. That was always there. But he was always challenged by an outer power. And that was there until he began to own his own. And when Pharaoh said, I need a man who hears God as much as you do, therefore you are it, his inner power was accepted. Because I'm picking you because you hear God. Because when he went to interpret the dream, Joseph said, I don't know anything, but God will tell me what to say. Okay? All right. So in metaphysics, Joseph represents many things. He's the heart, he's Pisces, he's the love, he's the misunderstood, he's the victim, blah, 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 blah. But he had so much power in his soul, he could have avoided the journey just by loving where he was. Good story? Okay. So we get the story as it played out. We get to see a young man become a leader and the challenges, and he loves. We never get to see him be happy, though. When you read the scriptures, he's a man, he's a boss, he's loving everybody, but is he really happy? He gets to see his grandchildren, but he was always away from his own people. He was in Pharaoh's court. His people were in Goshen. He raised his children as Egyptians, even though Manasseh became a tribe. Ephraim and Manasseh became tribes. There's no tribe of Joseph. He never found his way back home. Could he have? Could he have? It's a beautiful story that we just accept as, yay, God, he did what he needed to do. God put him where he needed to be there no matter what happened. Yeah, and God's going to do that with me too. Yay. Yeah. But I have a choice of choosing to walk more easily, more gently, and more consciously to whatever that destiny is. It does not have to be difficult. And as the challenges arise, what did we learn? Love them. Love them. Don't walk away. They're on your path. They came to your path. Just love it. Don't know what it is, God, but I'm going to love it. I'm going to hold it. I'm going to call it good, and you're going to walk me through this. And I'm going to change. I'll become better, different, higher. Was that fun? Let's go within. Take a breath and just feel that beautiful love of Father, Mother, God coming over you. Like a beautiful column of light. And in your heart, in your mind's eye, begin to visualize that you are going directly to the garden of your heart. Directly into that space where there's peace. And wherever you arrive, a meadow, a tree, wherever you arrive, feel the energy of the garden of your heart. And just begin to look at the path of your life. You may see a literal path open up. You may see energy. Look at the path of your life. And now ask to see the obstacles that are going to lie before you. You may not know what they are, but you see them. And just begin to say in your heart, I am a child of God. Therefore, I let my love go before me to harmonize whatever this obstacle represents, to harmonize my heart with the good of God in it, so that every step is filled with God love. And breathe and just let the love flow forward, a ray of your heart going forward, and just watch the obstacles. Maybe one was large and now you can see behind it. Maybe it was interesting and now it's softer. Just let the love flow. I can arrive at my goal without drama. I can arrive at my goal with my power intact. I can arrive at my goal in love. Feel a great peace now moving through this beautiful garden. And become aware of the beings of light that are coming forward to support you. Feel their love and support, and send your love in return to them. There is only one. Feel the light of Jesus Christ by you, and feel your willingness and readiness to live easier, to live in love. Breathe it in. Let your focus come back now. Gently coming back out of the garden, letting go, coming back to find your chair. I am a child of God. I choose to love in ease and be all I am. And I thank you, God. Just breathe and gently allow your focus to come back to the room. You can gently open your eyes. How do you feel? I hope some obstacles vanished for you. Did you see any change and shift? Good, good. Well, it was my turn this morning to do a short service. There you have it. Say, yeah, God. Yeah, God.